Good morning. Time is not constant. Time theoretically is constant, but whenever you're on vacation, you're having fun. Saturdays, Sundays, time flies by. Um, it seems like Saturday lasts just a moment, but then when Monday morning rolls around, time seems to drag on throughout the week, especially Wednesdays. Everybody talks about hump day and Wednesdays and how long Wednesdays are, and how long Mondays can be. So time is not constant. When we're doing something we don't want to do, it seems like time drags on forever. Whereas when we're having fun, time flies by. That's why we have so many expressions about time. Well, for your kids, time is not constant either. When they're playing a video game, when they're watching YouTube or playing on their tablet, when they're playing outside, time seems to be flying by. Whereas when they are doing their homework, or working on schoolwork, time seems to drag on, and reading for 10 minutes seems like you're really making them read for an hour. So, what you can do is you can help with making time more constant or transition warnings. So, there's two things in this video that I want you to take away. One is using timers. Uh, when you're running on a treadmill, you sit and you watch the time clock down or click down, and you're watching and watching and watching for that time to go. And so you know how many more minutes you have, you know how many more seconds you have until you're finished. When kids are doing something that's difficult, have that timer there that says, okay, you're going to read for 10 minutes, and start the timer and have them watch that timer as they're reading, or have the time going down as they're reading. The same with math or working on any other assignment. You want it to be that when you're finished, then you can move on to something else. So we talked about scheduling earlier today, that first do this, then you can go have fun. So we base things on activities, but sometimes it might be beneficial for you to say, we're going to work on your math for 15 minutes. Okay. If you finish your math in less than 15 minutes, then you can go play earlier. But you're going to work for at least 15 minutes. If you're not done at the end of 15 minutes, you can take a break, and then you can come back. Think about that treadmill. Sometimes we do things in intervals. I'm going to run for 5 minutes, and then I'm going to walk for 2, and then I'm going to run for 5 minutes, and then I'm going to walk for 2. And so this is what you're doing with your kids. Now, if you're doing those spurts where, okay, we're going to work on this for 10 or 15 minutes, and then you're going to go take a break, make sure that those breaks are short in duration. Because you don't want to lose too much momentum. Whereas if they finish it, okay, then you can have your longer break. But if you've got to come right back to it, take a stretch break, a movement break, watch a funny video, go to the bathroom, get a drink, get a snack, and come right back, okay? So make sure those are short breaks. And you may use a timer for that. So we're going to have 5 minutes of break, and then as soon as the timer goes beep beep, then we're going to come back. Timers are extremely helpful. You can order timers online pretty cheap. You can get them in dollar stores pretty cheaply. Or you can also just use your phone timer. You can use your kitchen timer on your microwave or your stove. So you can use your timer on your tablets or your computers. There are timers on a lot of things. You can even download visual timer apps. And what a visual timer is it's a little dial that the child can see starting to close, and the red goes away, and the closer it gets, the less time there is. Okay, so visual timers are great. Another thing that you can do are transition warnings. Because time is not constant, we tend to get lost in an activity and lost in having fun. And so when all of a sudden children are lost in having fun, and then you say, okay, time is up, it's like, whoa, I thought I had 30 minutes, and it feels like it's only been 5. And so then people are like, no, I'm not done. I'm not finished. Think about vacation or coming back the day after vacation. When that alarm goes off, you're like, but I'm not finished yet. I'm not done yet. I'm not done with vacation. And that's how children feel when we say, okay, it's time to come inside, or okay, it's time to get off electronics. They have that immediate reaction of, but I'm not done yet. I'm not ready. I'm not prepared. And so transition warnings are just brief warnings that let kids know time is almost finished, and helps count down that time. And so you can do, typically I say 5-minute transition warnings, because if you do transition warnings at 15 minutes and 10 minutes and 5 minutes, then there's too long of a duration between the onset of the transition warning and the end. So you want to keep that about 5 minutes. So Whenever it's about 5 minutes to be done with a video game or 5 minutes to be done with playing outside or something that the children are really enjoying, okay, guys, you have 5 more minutes left. You may start a timer at this time, but you don't have to, okay? So you have 5 more minutes left. After about 2 minutes, you want to say, okay, guys, you have 3 more minutes left. And then they're like, oh my goodness, okay. And if you can be consistent with this 5 more minutes, 3 more minutes, 1 more minute, and then counting down. So you give your warning at 5 minutes, you give your warning at 3 minutes, you give your warning, you have 1 more minute, and then we're going inside, or then the electronics are being turned off. And then at the end, you count down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we are all done. Biggest thing with transition warnings, when you say we are all done, we are all done. There's no 5 more minutes, there's no negotiating at that point in time. It is we are done. Okay, because if you ever give an inch, they're going to take a mile, right? And so if you give 5 more minutes today, they're going to want 5 more minutes tomorrow, and they're going to want 5 more minutes when it's not okay to want 5 more minutes, when you don't have 5 more minutes, when it's urgent, okay? So don't give your transition warnings until you're ready to be done, and always be firm with your transitions, okay? So you may have to look at, if your children aren't used to transition warnings, what am I going to do with my electronics? How am I going to get the kids inside when I say time is up? Now with electronics, you can be very firm. You can turn it off. You can disconnect the controller. You can unplug it from the wall. You can unplug the TV. Whatever that is, you can press the power button on something. So with those electronics, turn it off if they don't turn it off. Now, the first time you're going to have a meltdown, screaming, hissy fit because their game wasn't saved. But moving forward, they will know when you say 10, 9, 8, I better save my game, because when mom says 1, she's turning it off. Okay? So just make sure that you are consistent with that. Now, with coming in, if they don't come in, you're going to have to walk to wherever they're at and usher them inside, because it is time to come in. If they're too big to usher inside, then there may be a consequence for not coming inside when they are told to come inside, okay? But just have those transitions, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 1 minute, count down the last 10 seconds, and then be firm with your transition warnings. It is a very simple thing, but it makes a big impact, as does your timers. So use them and use them wisely. Thanks.